Hi, good evening, YouTubers. This is Bob, known as Spirit Channel. Well, tonight is a special night because I'm doing a psychic reading for somebody that we all know and dearly love here on YouTube. Her name is Lisa. She's a dear friend of mine, and her YouTube name is Notes1980. And for those of you who have been watching YouTube, you've probably seen her. She's the up-and-coming star for YouTube out of the UK. She lives in the United Kingdom, and she does a lot of singing, and her songs have been getting a lot of recognition and a lot of honors. She did a wonderful song for me recently called, it was by a culture club called Time Clock of the Heart, and it went, shot up the charts on YouTube. So I encourage you to check her out. I'm going to put her link to her channel here on the reading as well. She is just wonderful. Well, Lisa, I hope you're watching. I'm looking forward to seeing what the spirit people have for you tonight. Okay? Give me just a moment while I tune in to the spirit world. Very good. Now, Lisa, as I'm coming forward here, I'm stepping into your vibration. I'm getting around you a lot of energy here. You've been in a place of kind of being on hold. You've been a little stuck. And I feel that you've been very stuck here, particularly in a work area. And I want you not to be distressed over that. I want you to understand that that kind of being on hold period was a learning time for you, okay? The thing that you're working on here, and on a spiritual level you're working on, is learning to manage the desert period. You've been in the work area in a desert period for a while where you feel like you're just kind of spinning your wheels, but it's not really moving forward. Well, I feel that time of waiting and wondering is about over here. I want you to be looking here because I feel probably it's going to be around the month of April here, around mid to end of April. It looks like there may be an opening in the job area for you. I feel that you may be kind of moving on. I would like to encourage you to kind of get your resume out there and see and be seen, as they say, because I feel like there's another company just waiting for you. Interestingly, one of the areas I see you doing really well with is management. I feel like you have a lot of leadership skills, and I'd like you to apply for something that has a management background. And I keep seeing you kind of being good at organizing teams of people and kind of moving projects forward. Interestingly, there's also a side of you that's very good with accounting. Okay, and you may not be thinking about doing accounting, but I can also see that around you as well. Okay, so let's look at some changes here in the job area around the end of it's about the end of April, I'd say, maybe beginning of May. Okay, so thank you, Fletcher. Fletcher asked me to bring his greetings over to you as well. That's my spirit guide. Okay. The other thing here I want to bring over to you is that I pick up here around you a spirit that comes in to work with you. It's very interesting because the spirit comes over from one of your previous lives. I believe there was a connection here around you've had a few lives actually in Ireland. So it's interesting that you ended up being born back in Northern Ireland because this spirit that comes in around you is a priest. He's a druid, priest of the druids, and he comes in to work with you. And it looks like they're opening up some of your psychic ability. You have what they call the gift of clairsentience, which means that you feel things, you just know things in your heart. You also have the gift of clairvoyance, meaning that you are able to kind of have some visions. Yes, Fletcher's asking me to tell you as well. He said that gift goes back on your mother's side of the family, and that there were some relatives that come back on the mother's side. A grandmother I see, and possibly a great-grandmother, and one further back even, who had this ability. So that runs in your family line, and that's one of your abilities, okay? So you might want to look into kind of opening the third eye, which is where psychic vision occurs, and it's located right here in between the eyebrows, okay? Yes, the other thing I want to bring over to you here is that I also feel that your singing ability is actually going to increase. I feel like you've been making a lot of strides in that area, and I think that's wonderful. It does look here that there may be an issue here of possibly creating a CD here this year. And interestingly, I also feel there's a connection of publicity around this. So I think that YouTube is going to take you someplace. Okay. Now I have to be honest, I don't know that you're going to be instant millionaire overnight, but I do see your music getting some serious recognition. And I feel like I want to place this probably a little later in the year, maybe around June, the month of June or month of July, somewhere in this period. It looks like where this door for music starts to open. Interestingly, I also feel around this time that you may be getting an invitation to do some singing, to get a gig, basically, either at a club or working as a kind of a freelance singer. So that's going to be a business that opens up for you as well. And I'd like you to focus some energy in doing weddings as well. I think that there's a market here for you to do some beautiful music and inspire a lot of people, okay? So I want you to keep working on that because Spirit is telling me that that's your calling, okay? Interestingly, I don't know if I brought this over to you before, but you have had a number of past lives where you've been involved with singing, okay? There was another life actually in Ireland during the Middle Ages where I see that you were doing singing. You were part of a, looks like a troupe that was traveling, and you would do, plays. It was kind of a traveling show, and you would go town to town, and there was a musical element, and I believe in that lifetime you were doing kind of musical comedy and singing as well. Okay, so this has been an ongoing theme for you, and you bring that energy over into this life. So if you're thinking, why am I doing all this singing? Where does this come from? Why am I so compelled to do it? It comes because you have done it before, and it's part of your chart. Okay, you're here to bring a lot of joy to people and to bring happiness, and that's one of your themes. Speaking of themes, you have a life theme here of performer, okay? What's also interesting is you have another theme of humanitarian. And a humanitarian theme sometimes conflicts with the performer theme because the humanitarian theme makes you feel like you have to be humble and serve others. The performer theme wants to take you out in front of everybody. And I wanted to tell you that there does not need to be a conflict here between those two, okay? Humanitarian theme can be fulfilled through singing because you can use your success as a singer to help people, okay? You can also use it in a volunteer capacity. I think there are probably a lot of people in hospitals who would be blessed if you would just occasionally take a Sunday afternoon and maybe do a concert. Okay, so I just want to put that out there because I see these themes as part of your chart, all right? Now, one of the other things I want to bring over here as well is that I do pick up as well around you and Brian a soul connection. And I feel like that you guys have lived before. And I keep feeling like there was a connection between you guys probably around the it looks like the 1880s I keep seeing. It was during the Victorian era, and both of you and he were together in that period. And it looks like you've come back into this life to be together again. So, yes, there is a connection here, and it's no coincidence you guys are together. Okay. Now, I hope that this reading has brought you some insight tonight from the spirit world. It's been a pleasure to read for you. I'm looking forward to watching more of your music. All of you watching YouTube, go to Lisa's channel. Watch her sing. She's the best. Thank you. God bless you. Good night.